Welcome to Little John's Yarns. Today we're going to learn how to make this super simple granny stitch crochet bandana. If you can create a granny square, you can definitely create this pattern in no time. Give it 30 to an hour, this pattern whips up super quick. So let's get into materials that we'll be using for this pattern. I am using a 4mm crochet hook, and I'm also using Shine worsted weight yarn. You can purchase this from crochet.com. I'll leave a link down in the description box below, but you can basically use any type of yarn. Try different colors to give it a little extra pizzazz. Also, if you would like to follow along to the free written pattern, I'll leave that link down in the description box below. Alright guys, enough of me talking. Let's get directly into this pattern. We're going to begin with a magic ring. If you can't make a magic ring, just chain 4 and slip stitch into the first chain to form a ring. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your chain 4 is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 1. What we're going to do first is place 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the ring. 1, 2, 3. Let me close this up a little bit. Chain 2. 1, 2. Place 3 more double crochet back into this ring. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to match the other side by chaining 1 and placing 1 more double crochet into the ring. And that is your first row. Let's tighten this up. For row number 2, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work. Remember, this counts as a double crochet and chain 1. So into this first space right here, chain 1 space, we're going to place 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now we're at the top corner. We're going to place 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets into this same space, which is going to be your corner. I'll work it with you. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 double crochets back into that same spot. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. We're going back on the side. Into that last chain 1 space, or that chain 4, we're going to place 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and into the third stitch up, we're going to place a double crochet. So let's count. 1, 2, 3. Wait, let me make sure I got it right. 1, 2, 3. Place that double crochet. That's the end of row 2. Can you see where the triangle's starting to start? So no matter what, we're always going to do a 3 double crochets, chain 1s going on the side, and when we make it to the peak right here, it's always going to be 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the same space. Let me show you one more time. Well, 2 more times. So for round number 3, remember, we're going to start with a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work. First chain 1 space. Remember, we're on the side, so it's always 3 double crochet, chain 1. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. We're still working on a side, so once again 3 double crochets, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. We made it to the top of the peak right here, so it's going to be 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the same peak to create that corner. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 double crochets back into that same spot. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, because we're working back down the side again. Chain 1s are always for the side of the work. So 3 double crochets back into that next chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. The last chain 1 space, or also it's like a chain 4. 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. To match the other side, we're going to chain 1 and place a double crochet into the 3rd chain. Let me count this. 1, 2, 3. 3rd chain, double crochet. Are you beginning to see the pattern repeat that's going on? So always remember, I'll do this last round with you. We're going to, on the sides, will always be 3 double crochets, chain 1. Of course, you're going to start off with a chain 4. So chain 4, 3 double crochets, chain 1 all the way up the side until you make it to the peak. Then it's going to be 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and back with the normal. Once you make it down to the other side, 3 double crochets, chain 1. Alright, so I'll work this last row with you, and you can repeat the rest because it's basically easy to follow. So remember, you're starting with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work. 3 double crochets into this first space right here. 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Pause your video here, continue placing 3 double crochets, chain 1 into the next 2 chain 1 spaces, and I'll meet you at the peak. We made it to the peak, and don't forget that last chain 1 because we're still on its side. So for the corner of your work, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Let's do that. We'll work it together. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 double crochets back into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so now we're working back on the side. So, with more on the side, we're always going to chain 1. So, chain 1. And now we're going to place 3 double crochets, chain 1 into each one of your chain 1 spaces. So, pause your video here, continue placing 3 double crochets into the chain 1 space, plus a chain 1, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. We've almost made it to the end of row number 4, and I'm going to work those last 3 double crochets with you in this last space right here. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and place a double crochet into the third chain. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so basically this is going to be your pattern repeat for the next 7 rows, a total of 11 from the beginning. And if you don't understand it, I'm going to break it down to you one more time so it's easy to follow. Whenever you start your next row, we're going to chain 4, and it will always be 3 double crochets, chain 1, going up the side of your work. Whenever you make it to the very point, the corner, it'll be 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the same stitch. And when you're working back down your work, it's always going to be a chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, going all the way down the side. Always remember that. And when you make it to the very end, so you can have matching sides like this, that last stitch will be 3 double crochets into this corner, chain 1, and a double crochet into the side. If you don't understand, don't worry, I'll leave time steps for how the rows exactly work so it's easy for you to figure out. So pause your video here and continue with those additional 7 rows. We've completed all those additional rows, and this is what your work should look like. Now you can just try it on your head to make sure it fits. If it's too small, just keep creating extra rows. If it's a little bit too big, you can remove a row. Alright, so now that we made it here, we're going to make the straps, which are easy. We made it to the very end, and we're just going to chain about 50 or whatever you feel comfortable with. So pause your video here and continue with your chain of 50. We completed those chains, and all you have to do now is clip it and fasten off. And we're going to make a second strap on the other side where that chain 4 was. Just attach your yarn and slip stitch. So I don't have to worry about weaving in ends. I like to take those 2 strands and do at least the first 4 chain stitches holding 2. 1, 2, 3, I can't get the 4th, and 4. So that way you don't have to worry about weaving in that end. So continue with your chain of 50 and then fasten off your work when done. We completed those last 50 and fasten off your work. Your headband or your bandana is all done and ready to wear. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please check out my other crochet tutorials, and I'll see you all on the very next video. Bye guys.